You know, it's true. Quite literally, there is a story behind every car. These relics of yesterday brought back to life have so much to tell us. Back in the 70s, Roger owned a 1938 Chevrolet, but for various reasons had to give it up.
And it was one of the first old cars I've ever owned. And I always liked them. I always had, the first one I had, I drove it winter and summer. I drove it year-round, snow and all. And I loved it. I had a good time with it, and I've always wanted another one.
But within the last several years, the search for a replacement Chevy began. As in many cases, he stumbled across this one completely by accident. He spotted the car while driving along Eureka Road in Taylor, Michigan.
This belonged to a young kid, and he had it in a barn in his father's wrecking yard. There's a wrecking yard just north of I-75 on Eureka Road, old-time wrecking yard. There's not many cars left, nothing really worth salvaging. And this was the son's car, and it was in the barn. And he went out drinking on a Friday night, went through the passenger windshield of his buddy's pickup and died instantly. So the father said, well, I'm going to put this up for sale, 2 Buick Grand Nationals, and 7 motorcycles.
For the father, looking at the 37 Chevy every day brought back only sad memories.
It was something, if it stayed there, it would be kind of a bad memory. It was something he didn't want to, have to look at all the time. I'd been over, numerous times and talked to him. The fellow is very, very nice.
Roger says the body of this car had 13 coats of paint on it when he bought it, all of which he removed and repainted. The underside was extremely well rust-proof to the point of overkill. That's why he says everything held up so well.
I had to find a lot of trim work. Most of the car was complete. It had the headlight buckets, had the taillight arms and buckets, but there was no lenses or no trim ring. I had to find the center hood chrome, pieces around. I had to find the pieces around the grille. I bought new door handles, new inside handles, new trunk handle. Basically, other than that, the car is the way you see it.
The coupe is powered by a 6-cylinder Chevy engine with 3 deuces. Roger never considered putting a big V8 engine in the Chevy. He says the 6 is good enough for him.
I've already had these motors in cars before, and they're excellent. They're doesn't have a lot of horsepower, but it's got a lot of low-end torque, and the gas mileage is usually good, so that's why I left it. The transmission is a 59 Corvette 4-speed. The rear end is a 57 Chevy. This was all in the car. The only thing I basically had to do is I bought a disc brake setup for the front end.
I think many would agree with Roger that survivors of this vintage were made of much better materials. The proof is they're still around today.
They were made to last. It's not like the cars of today. The cars of today aren't made to last. Usually after about 4 or 5 years, you start having all kinds of problems with it. These cars, once you get them running, they run forever.
Now you know at least part of the story on Roger's 1937 Chevrolet Business Coupe. It's my hope that these videos give us all a new appreciation of the cars and the people who own these treasures. Thanks for viewing, and have a safe winter. Come spring, we'll see you at the car shows and cruise nights.